books. Can't escape from the team. Call the morning steam. It's time to call the morning steam. It's time to break one for cover. Bet's gonna cover. Bet's gonna cash. Then we make the 100-yard dash to the window. I don't know what you thought. It's Ramon Scott running so hot. Sports make money and we make money with sports money every single day. NFL, NHL, NCAA. Stay away from the juice or might play a parlay. It's the morning steam. What? Ramon Scott. Sports money. What? Wake your ass up and let's get to the money. Get to the money. You know how we do it.
All right, gang, and a pleasant good morning to you coming from the sports betting capital of the world, Las Vegas. This is Ramon Scott, and welcome to the Morning Steam Show here for Tuesday, November the 18th. Just some technical issues getting down to business here today. Saw maybe some conversation there in the chat. As we get rolling here, the distribution of the show might be a little off today. That's not going to affect the recording and the presentation here on. If you're joining me and able to make it onto YouTube, might be having some trouble getting to some of the other platforms, trying to maybe send it out intermittently. Some of the other websites around are having some problems as well, including X and such. So Cloudflare having some issues, which causes intermittent outages for a few websites, some of them big, some not so big. So if you're noticing certain hiccups to address certain sites, that's probably why. So for us here, it's not going to affect the show. But if you run any buffering or delays, it's likely just on your end or somewhere along the internet path. Not anything to do with the show itself. So don't worry, we're still rolling, and you can always go back and get the picks or comments, but probably gonna have a limited audience here as well. Won't be able to have everyone join us from the different platforms possibly here, but we can getting the show going here, and maybe we'll talk for a few minutes. It's already been about 3 hours it's been going on, so even I took an old nap in there because I couldn't get some of the work done that I needed to do in preparation for the show. I don't know, affect the show here too much, but no doubt affecting some accessibility to some websites that may even be pertinent to some of the information that I give out. So when we may be curt, we may be short in some of the previews. You guys know how I do the show, man. We just have limits, so it's not going to affect me if I can't get any stats or trends or notes. We'll still have some picks here. I got plenty of notes in front of me ready to go with the show. So what I'll do is just start with the coverage from last night a little bit, recap some of the action, including Monday Night Football. We had a great time here on the Sports Money Network in conjunction with Razor Sharp Picks, and it was the Cowboys crushing the Raiders there. It's not affecting the steam, that's for sure. Let's roll some steam out too, talk about the football game, but yeah, why not? College basketball steam coming in. Hey, that's working. That's a good sign. And we just saw a move here come in right now.
Critical notice.
Here in the matchup between UT Arlington and Evansville. We're seeing some steam here in this one to the over. It was 141.5. We're seeing it go higher here right now. Looks like to 140. Let me get it here. 143.5 here, possibly up to a 2-point move with Arlington and Evansville. Seeing that steam roll out just while we were coming on the air as well. We had some other steam come in here. Let me see if I can pin this down. Right now, maybe we are having some problems here, actually. All right, we might just roll the show here. Here we go. St. Peter's and Davidson. We saw this one moving way lower here this morning on some steam. It was opened as a 144. And right now, St. Peter's and Delaware is going down here, way down to 140 at this point. That's been a 4-point move, really, from the opener. The steam came in, though, about 141.5. St. Peter's and Delaware took some steam just as we were coming on the air. And let's see here as well. I got a few more here. I think Towson also took the steam this morning. Towson was a 2-point favorite in their matchup with James Madison. And now we're seeing this one move higher here to Towson -3 here on some steam. And let's see here. Xavier took some steam as well. They were a 9-point favorite, but they moved higher here just as we were getting ready to come on the air. And they're up to 10.5 right now. I'll cover all these. I'm looking for some extra content. So also some action here. Let's see. Half the time it's all grayed out a little bit on me here, but here we go. Let me do a few more here while we're firing away. Eastern Kentucky and Kent State steam to the under here. It was 161, but we've seen this one also move lower here right now. This one is at 157.5. That's about a 3.5-point move right there on the under with Eastern Kentucky and Kent State. All right, let's get the show. I'm going to go to the highlights here in just a second. Man, this is going to be a rough one. Here we go. Stephen F. Austin and Fresno State took some steam to the over. It was 146, but now we're seeing it move. This one move higher as well between Stephen F. Austin and Fresno State. This one went up to 147.5. Steam came in. Stephen F. Austin and Fresno State to the over. All right, gang. Thanks for being patient here. About ready, set to go. At least talking some. Let's just get back to some of the recaps here. I think it might be the best idea at this point. Southern U took some steam at 21.5. We've seen this one move in favor of Southern U at Washington, but Southern actually took the steam, but not very heavy. There, just down to 21 or so. That was a light move, actually, in San Diego. University of San Diego, and their game tonight against Grambling, we saw steam to both. USD in that one. This is USD now, not San Diego State. But USD was a 5.5-point favorite. They moved to 6.5. The steam came in there on the under from as high as, get this, 154.5 all the way down here to 149 right now, Grambling in San Diego. Okay, we're talking NFL football here for the moment. And recapping, hello to everyone in the chat, by the way. I'll try to figure things out here. All right. Let me continue on, though, with the Raider game last night. We were on the air here with the guys. Okay, I got more steam. It's working. Man, I don't know what's going on here. This is really screwing everything up. Probably should have just delayed the show, but I don't want to keep you guys hanging. I really appreciate you being here. So, it's hard enough for me to get on the air. Here's some steam on American U. Top of the board, top of the extra board here was 16. Rutgers favored by 16 over American right now. And it's moving here down to 14.5, point and a half move on Rutgers. All right. Hopefully you were here with us. We had a great time on the show last night. I picked up a few prop winners there with Pickens. We ramped him up to over 79 yards, 79 and a half yards at plus 150. Scored there with that one. Dak Prescott, 268 yards and 4 touchdowns. And 1 point Dallas scored 4 TDs on 4 consecutive drives. They outgained the Raiders by 150 yards, and Dallas continues to look good always as a road favorite. They're 12-7 ATS last 19 games, but man, Dak Prescott and some of his numbers on those road primetime games when he is the starting quarterback, and he is a road favorite. Man, Dak Prescott basically unbeatable in that role. I think that we covered it last night. 13-1 last 14 as a road favorite. Dallas able to win those games. They just continue to look impressive on the road every time. So they ended up smashing the Raiders there. The Raiders' big problem was in the offensive line where they were getting ready to start their rookie right guard. He ended up as a late scratch or an inactive, and the gentleman that they started in his place was getting worked in there, and they were able to get plenty of pressure in on Geno. So the Raiders have lost 4 in a row, 8 of 9. They're really a disaster. They can't run the ball. They got tackled for a safety because the running back, Ashton Genty, doesn't realize that when you're at the 1 yard line, you got to go straight ahead. You can't do any hesitation. You can't do a juke step or anything like that. So LA averaged just 5 yards per pass attempt in that game last night. So really a disaster there for the Raiders. And I don't know if it was more the Cowboys defense getting healthy. They did add 5 key players back to their defense. Maybe they can make something run here for the playoffs, but the Raiders really have some major issues there as one of the worst teams in the league. That's a fact. All right, we saw Jamar Chase get that suspension for 1 game for chucking a logie on Jalen Ramsey there on Sunday. That was some of the news that came out. Also, Michael Penix hurt his knee there. He walked off the field, but he's expected to miss the rest of the season and may need total reconstruction surgery on his knee. Really bummer story there. He hasn't been great, but 9 touchdowns and just 3 interceptions this season for nearly 2,000 yards. So, yeah, they hadn't won a lot of games necessarily with him at quarterback, but he does take care of the ball. He doesn't really turn it over that often, and that's kind of what you want for a quarterback. He still has room to grow. Hopefully this won't be a career-ending situation. This sounds pretty brutal. It's going to take a long time to get back. Eagles Lane Johnson, he left the field late there in the game on Monday night or on Sunday night, and he's expected to miss 4 to 6 weeks. And in New York, Tyrod Taylor comes back and will replace Justin Fields, as Fields wasn't very effective in those games. So even though I talked him up and he had that one great game there in that crazy Bengal game, he's back to being Justin Fields, and they're going to have to go back to Taylor either way. Just more Jets problems as well. They're not in any position to get anything done. James Franklin was hired as the new coach at Virginia Tech, like we had said here, and boy, he kind of took that job quickly. Hope he made the right decision there to go to Blacksburg. I guess you could do worse. North Texas is now the top team in the college football playoff from the group of 5. They're ranked 22nd. So it's only the second time that North Texas has ever been ranked. The last time was in 1959, and they could be headed to the college football playoff. Just a short time ago, Power 4 commissioners released a statement that said that the Big Ten has suggested that we haven't even gotten to the 12-team format hardly yet, and all of a sudden now we got a 24-team playoff field on the table here. And the idea has some merit, according to the Power 4 commissioners. Actually, they just tired. They don't want all these teams that are, borderline left out. It's not so much sometimes the top 4 teams anymore, like it probably should be the 4-team playoff, but everybody has a problem with that. And then now 12 teams isn't enough. So all the directors of football were in that meeting, and really it's whatever the SEC and the Big Ten want to happen. They control the pieces there. With the college football playoff. So you might expect maybe it will be a 24 team field, maybe as soon as 2027. But that'll be yet to be seen. But whatever, because they don't want to miss out on some of those teams that, they could get a share of the pie. So, and then they'd have to let in a few more teams in there as well from the other conferences. So, all right, let's I think that's about it for the news of the day. I'm just trying to stall over to see if we can get this Twitter fired up. But obviously, I'm getting some bulletins here on my phone, too. That you know what it was? Probably the Russian interference. Russian interference. That's what it is. All right. Trying to bomb the websites. Here we go. Let's say hello to some folks in the chat and get the show rolling and go to the previews today. Hopefully have some great previews with Bobby Mack here today. Nuke as well. Here's where we're Nuke. And I sent a message that said, these Cloudflare issues. It really is. I just keep hitting refresh over here. And if the tweet deck comes up, I know that X is working for some of you out there, looks like right now. So I can't get it to, or at least I can't get the tweet deck to work. All right, let's see here. Joe, good morning. Bar, good morning. Lovable's here today. Wants no more Gino. No more Gino. Okay. And let's see here. So make sure everybody's making it in. Stop Geo's here. Right, Bobby Mack said he was on the Raiders there. I know I was having some real Raider regret there early on. I don't know if you heard it in my voice on the broadcast, but the offensive line was not set up for success there. Lovable talking a little Love in North Texas. Gerardo's here today as well. And another prime time under. The Terrell loves it. He's in charge of the prime time unders now. Lovable's all working on the internet, so I better get started. Hey, folks, you can get more plays from me here today when you join me at winnable.com/Ramon. You can click the QR code over here and get in touch with me on Winnable for a subscription to some extra plays. I'm going to give you plays up and down the card every day here on the Morning Steam Show. But if you want more releases from me closer to game time, mostly right now in college basketball, hopefully it's my best going on here right now. Tried to bring home some winners here yesterday on the show and on the Winnable there yesterday. So check me out over at winnable.com/Ramon. Use that promo code Steam at checkout. We had winners yesterday like Lemoyne over Niagara. We had Bucknell and Pittsburgh under. Also, we had Canisius. Let me see, what was it? Canisius and a High Point game to go under. Really, a lot of the extra board is what I was kind of focused in on, and I think I'm going to continue to do that because I really seem to be hitting the extra board there pretty good. We also had the Lafayette and West Virginia game to go over there. I don't think it was a clean sweep on those. I think we lost a couple of them in there for sure, but we did have a pretty good day with the picks over there at winnable.com. And I think those were the winners. I think we had Tennessee Tech in there, didn't come home, but I think it was 4-1. 4-1 yesterday with those picks, and we'll pick it up here with some other sports, but a little bit of a light day on there. But like I said, always I just usually add more to the subscriptions there every day as well. So check me out over at winnable.com and check out all the guys here overall on there. Mikey's on there, and Jeff is on there, and Sean is on there, and Sean will be by tomorrow for his show. And man, I'm trying to fire up another Tuesday night show on this channel. but having just a few issues here getting it squared away. So hopefully we'll be able to get that Tuesday night show to you here on the Sports Money Network in due time, hopefully before college basketball season is over, or at least gets into the conference play. Want to be able to join you here hopefully every night of the week on the Sports Money Network in one form or another here. So really appreciate it. And we'll get started here with your show, your previews here. And we'll start in the NBA, of course. Hey everyone, like this video, subscribe to our channel, Sports Money, here on YouTube, the fastest growing sports betting channel on YouTube. Like it, share it, pass it around. All right, AOD's here and ready to fire. Yeah, and you roll out those Cloudflare updates and everything will be working here in no time. So we'll just start the show. We got some great games lined up here. We'll start in NBA basketball. All right, first off, let's take a look here at the Warriors taking on the Magic here. And in this one, got the there we go. We got the Warriors. So Warriors are favored here on the road by 3. The total's been continuing to dip here a little bit, 222.5 from maybe a high of about 225.5 at some books open this one. So definitely moving lower here today with the Warriors and the Magic. For the Warriors, they come in here with a 9-6 record currently on a 3-game winning streak here right now. Warriors with wins over the Spurs 2 times, and also the Pelicans there. The Warriors, of course, defeated the Spurs 125-120 on the road, and then they beat them again on the road just 2 nights later. Remember, 109-108. The Warriors won both games in that and covered the spread in both games. The Spurs could not turn the tables on them. The Warriors won twice in a row there and covered the spread. Also, they ended up coming back and beating New Orleans and covering the spread on the road 124-108. So Warriors with that 3-game winning streak. The Magic come in here off of a loss to Houston on the road 117-113, but they got the money as a 7.5-point dog. They've won 3 of 4 and covered 3 of 4 right now. Have the Orlando Magic. The Warriors come in with a 8-2 mark to the over on the road so far this season. Meanwhile, Orlando is 2-0 to the over as a dog, but they are 2-5 to the under so far at home this season. And I think that they might be able to dictate here against Golden State a little bit in this matchup. The Warriors come in here having gone over in 5 of their last 7 as well, but the Magic have gone under in 5 of their last 6 at home to set up that record there. I'm going to take the under in this one at 222. The move is clearly on the under here, and I'm going to back that move and take the under in this one between Golden State and Orlando here on Tuesday night. All right, and let's see who else is in the chat with us. Robert is on the Warriors here, and Fernando's on the Warriors as well. Terrell says he's got Draymond under 10 points. They should be able to bet on Dre's technicals, huh? All right, I'll go under in this one. Let's see if I can't see if you guys are saying X is working. See if I can go live there. No, I still can't go live on X. Okay, let me see here. Okay, maybe I'm able to get. All right, maybe we're able to get one on X. Okay, I think I've been able to get on X here. No, I can't still get on X. Okay, no problem. We're just going to keep it rolling here. Sorry for the interruption, guys. I can't fire it up on X. No problem. We'll just keep it moving here right now. Tariq, hello. He likes Orlando with those points at home. And Lovable says it's going to be an under Monday. It's just another under Monday. Lovable likes the Warriors. Yeah, and Andrew says you can't do it, Cloudflare. Yeah, and it's just intermittent, though. Like we're seeing here, Andrew, some people have gained their access back, and I'm just trying to get the show out there. All right, let's keep it moving here right now. We have a limited audience here, but that's okay. I'd talk to you if there was 3 of you. Celtics and the Nets. You got the Celtics coming in here 7-7. The Nets, meanwhile, they're 2-11. But guess what? They're coming off of a win, of course. The Nets were able to beat the Wizards. They clobbered them. Remember, I said, "Oh, the Nets are going to the Wizards are going to clobber the Nets." No, it was the other way around. The Nets won 129-106 on the road in that one. Let's report a little college basketball steam while we can. I've got a move here coming in on North Carolina A&T. The Aggies are taking some steam here in their matchup against Morgan State. They were a 1-point favorite here, North Carolina A&T, but we're seeing some steam on them right now. And North Carolina A&T is up to a 3-point favorite over Morgan State here on the Morning Steam Show. And also, moments ago, we were talking of the other game, but Minnesota taking some steam in their game today. Minnesota taking on Chicago State. Always like to pounce on them. Minnesota was a 24.5-point favorite. They're up to, it looks like, 25.5 or higher here right now. Minnesota taking the steam against Chicago State. In fact, they're up to 26.5. So 2-point move there, it looks like, on Minnesota. All right, let's continue on. I'll try to keep it together here with the Celtics taking on the Nets. Talked about that win, of course, there for the Nets to snap their losing streak and get a cover here. The Celtics, of course, we know they haven't been doing too well so far. I would say too well, 7-7. We don't expect that from Boston, but maybe that's just what type of year it's going to be. And to talk about if they're overrated or not, they are 2-5 against the spread on the road, 5-9 against the spread overall. So even though Brooklyn has a 2-11 record, they're better against the spread than Boston. I don't know if that accounts for anything, but they are 3-3 against the spread at home. That is better than the Boston's 2-5 road record. Still, the Nets are just 5-11 against the spread, and they're 6-7 against the spread. 6-7 against the spread this season. Boston's won 8 straight meetings with Brooklyn, and I still think here Brooklyn might be the side, but let's see what we got here from you guys. I'll probably default to the total in this one. Brooklyn's been an over so far this season. They've gone over in 8 of 13 games. Meanwhile, Boston 6-8 to the under and 2-5 to the under in their in their 7 road games this year, including 4 of the last 5 games on the road here. So let me hear from you here with the Celtics. And Brooklyn here today. Familiar foes, certainly, but let's go to the chat. All right, here we go. Avar is on the over here. And Tariq says Celtics team total over. Stop Geo says, is it Tuesday? We don't even know right now, Stop Geo, because of the outage. We don't know what day it is. We don't know what week it is. Robert's on the under here in this one. Under looks like the move here. Certainly more action on the under here, considering this move. Fernando says he also says maybe Nets plus the points. And Fernando, man, now has moved. Not only has Fernando been incredible to give us the plays, he's moved to the Heisman Trophy lead, and now it could be the first round draft pick in the NFL. Man, what a year it's been for Fernando. All right, I got to make my call here in this one with the Celtics and the Nets. Yeah, and this one has moved lower here from as high as 220, uh, 226 and a half, 229 here, even all the way down to 223 or so with this one with the Celtics and the Knicks here today. But I got to go over on this one. Give me the over with Boston and the Nets. The move has been pretty slight, but like I said, some sendouts were as high as 229 here, 226 and a half opener at DraftKings, and we are down here considerably. I understand, possibly the move to the under here in this one, especially considering maybe the notable injuries here with the Cam Thomas still out for the Nets. But I'm going to go over in this one. All right. Boston's second quarter here for Jermaine. I'll keep it moving here right now. We'll go to Memphis taking on San Antonio here on the road. Memphis comes in here 4-10. Meanwhile, San Antonio 9-4. But we know the news here that Wembanyama will be missing time for San Antonio. This game actually, I missed the Pistons Hawks is on a time change, but we'll come right back to that. They moved that one from 8:10 Eastern to 7:30 Eastern here, I believe. But let's just keep rolling here right now with the Memphis. So both teams have major injuries here to consider. Ja Morant doubtful here for Memphis. Scottie Pippen Jr. is out as well here, and Ty Jerome is out. Those guys have been out for a while, though, we know that. But it's more about Ja. It's more about Wembanyama. These guys are out here today. Key players out for sure. So how will it affect both lineups? We know that Morant has been more in and out of the lineup than Wembanyama has, but Memphis has just been so bad and awkward so far. Still, maybe the best move for Memphis is to have no Ja, right? They are just 4-10 against the spread so far this season. 1-5 against the spread on the road. 1-8 against the spread as an underdog. Meanwhile, San Antonio, despite their fine record this season of 9-4, they haven't been great to the number. They've been overrated, right? They're 3-6-2 as a favorite here, but they are 4-3-1 at home. And look, I think the numbers adjusted for both players being out. They're still, reasonable favorite here of 5.5 or 6. I got to take San Antonio in this one. I think they'll transcend here, be able to still have enough talent on the court to cover this number against a Memphis team that's pretty dysfunctional. Maybe they will be better with Morant, but you still have to deal with the missing out on all of his points production here. So I'm going to go ahead and take San Antonio in this one and lay the points against Memphis on Tuesday night. Got some steam also coming in here right now in the game between Fort Wayne and Utah. We're seeing steam here to the under in that one with Fort Wayne and Utah. It was at 160. We're seeing the move here go lower right now to 159. That's pretty much it on that one. Although I will say it did open as high as 162. So there's been a clear 3-point move there on the under with Fort Wayne and Utah. Your comments on the Grizzlies game here coming in, I see, with the Spurs here for VAR says lay it. Lovable says should lay 11 points here. And Jermaine says if that game goes to, he's kind of same thing here. He's going over now with the game down here to 232 with those high-scoring players out. He says that's too many points, too big of an adjustment here. But we haven't really seen the total drop but a point or two, despite two. No, it could be argued that those players were already going to be out there, but that's still only about a 1.5 or 2-point move there. Stephon Castle here for lovable. Here's Bobby Mack says go over in this one. Boxes points and assists for the Spurs for Tariq and KG. Good morning. All right, I'm going to try one more time to fire it up on YouTube here, or on X here, pod now. Okay, we're just going to keep it going. Just keep the show moving here. Man. Okay, Pistons and Hawks here. Well, hey, this is the game of the night. And like I said, it is being moved here from 8:10 Eastern to 7:30 Eastern here with this one. But man, a great game here between Red Hot Detroit coming in here hot with a big 9-game winning streak right now. Going up against Atlanta's got a nice winning streak of their own, 5 games here. Pretty good. Actually, Detroit's up to 10 wins in a row now, right? With that last victory, the win the other night over the Indiana Pacers, 127 to 112 last night. Got the win, got the cover. Pistons continue to roll here, and one of the best teams in the NBA so far, but injury concerns abound here in this one. Sorry about that. We're just trying to keep everything, trying to check these websites, trying to get on the air on some of these sites. Okay, Pistons and Hawks here. So, like I said, Pistons have the injury bug here with Cade Cunningham. We'll check his status here. I mean, we know it already. He's questionable for this game. We'll see if he can make this lineup. Asher Thompson is questionable. Harris still remains out. Sasser still remains out as well. Okongwu out for Atlanta. Risa Shea questionable. Okongwu questionable, actually. KP questionable here. Trae Young's been out all month. So see what you have here in this one. But again, notable injuries there for more so for Detroit. They come in here with the big winning streak, but you have to respect Atlanta here at home, I think, in this one. They're playing well enough. And again, Trae's not a bad chemistry guy. Sometimes he's more of a bad on-court chemistry guy, though. He's still going to get you those points and everything here. Detroit's covered 4 of the last 6 games between the two teams. 6 of the last 7 meetings between the two teams have gone over, but I'm not so sure that was going to be the case. I mean, the Steam obviously came in on the under here. Says 228.5 there on screen, but it's actually up to 230. It's gone back up here. That could be an indicator, actually, that Cunningham could be in the lineup. In fact, I'm showing now that most sites have Detroit now maybe as the 1-point favorite here coming in. Still enough pick'ems out there for the most part as well, but okay, let's see. I think we just had another update here in the Golden State Orlando game. Buddy Hield upgraded to probable. I know I didn't cover the injuries in that game. Banchero is out for Orlando. Okay, we get a few things going here. Man, I didn't realize I do so many things that are affected by the Cloudflare here in the. Is it in Vegas specifically, or?
Steam play.
All right, we're seeing some steam here. Let's see right now. Some steam coming in, if you will, on California in their game. Cal taking some steam here in their game tonight with Presbyterian. Cal was a 20.5-point favorite, but they're taking the steam here right now, and Cal is up to a 22.5-point favorite tonight over Presbyterian at home. Okay, let me get my play ready here in the game between Detroit and Atlanta. I'm going to end up going to the total here in this one, and I like it over here at 232. 230, 231.5, whatever it is. I'm going. I'm sorry. The under is my selection in the game between Detroit and Atlanta. Okay, I apologize, you guys. I'm really having some trouble with a lot of technical issues for whatever reason here due to the Cloudflare. I'm blaming the Cloudflare anyway. All right, give me the under in this one with Detroit and Atlanta. The number is higher here, up to 233,
Steam play.
231 right now. Okay. Hey, let me talk about a different Detroit. Let me talk about the Detroit Titans because they're getting some steam right now. Let me go back to the steam here. Detroit was a 1-point dog in their game against Eastern Michigan today, and now Detroit is a 1-point favorite when they're playing Eastern Michigan here today. Steam came in on Detroit Titans basketball. Also, moments ago, Holy Cross taking some steam here in their matchup today against Brown. Holy Cross was getting 4 points from Brown. We're seeing this one move higher right now, and now it is Holy Cross getting 2 points, down to 2. 2-point move here on Holy Cross here on the Morning Steam Show. All right, I'm going to keep it moving here. Get your plays. Let me get your plays here on this one between the Pistons and the Hawks. Good morning to M the Great. Here is Robert. He is on the over. Hello to Nick Handy in the chat. Fernando's on the over here. Lovable still going Detroit right now. Fernando, Hawks team total over. Tariq likes the under here. And Detroit, Robert likes the Pistons. And I don't know about you, Andrew, but I'm getting a lot of Cloudflare errors on all of the sites that I like to look at when I'm talking to you guys. So apologize for just I wish I could come in and just write a whole 3-hour script, but hey, I ad-lib a lot of this stuff and go off my notes on these sheets and everything. So just kind of affecting a lot of the bulk content that the stuff that I rattle off, a little bit. All right, there was some steam that came in though just moments ago on one of the big games. I know the steam machine is working, and we're getting some steam on the Kansas and Duke game, the big one, the Champions Classic, late game there in Madison Square Garden. We're seeing steam to the under there with Kansas and Duke. That total's gone down here to 148. About a 3-point move here right now, Kansas and Duke. Okay, Lovable doesn't have the problems I'm having. I think Lovable got a good Cloudflare. Good Cloudflare. All right, I think I can keep it moving here right now. Next up, the Jazz and the Lakers here in this one. And the Lakers are favored here by 12.5, total 237.5 here in this one. Got the Lakers coming in off a pair of wins here. Lakers defeated New Orleans 118-104. They covered 9.5. Then they beat Milwaukee as a 2.5-point dog as the Lakers continue to be one of the best spread teams in the league. They're 4-1 against the spread as a favorite. And meanwhile, Utah is 2-4 against the spread on the road. Got some steam coming in here. It comes up, and then I can't read it, and then it takes about 5 seconds, and then it comes up. Wichita State and Boise State, we're seeing some steam here to the under in this one at 152.5. This one's moving lower. Wichita State and Boise State. This will be in the previews as well later on, one of the better games of the day here. And right now, the steam's coming in on the under here in this one between Wichita State and Boise State. And the total has gone down here from 152 down to 149.5 so far. Steam to the under here with Wichita State and Boise State. Moments ago, before that, it was Sacramento State and UCLA taking some steam to the over here. It was 144, but now we're seeing this one move higher. Sacramento State and UCLA is up to 148 right now. That's a 4-point move off the steam, and this thing opened as low as 142.5. So really you're looking at about a 6-point move here in Sacramento State and UCLA to the over. That's a lot of points. All right, and let's see. Barr went under here, I think, in the Laker game. Utah wants Lovable's got Utah here plus 13. Utah is 1-5 to the under on the road. The Lakers are 5-0 to the over at home. What gives in this type of matchup between Utah and the Lakers? 5 of the last 6 meetings between these two teams have gone over, and Utah's gone over in 4 of their last 5. Albeit, those were home games for sure. They're coming in here off of a 4-game homestand coming in on the road here. But I got to go over in this one with Utah and the Lakers tonight, and now at 238. And a half. And a half. All right. Robert's on the over as well. Yeah. We're going over here. Next up, the Suns are going to take on the Trailblazers. Hey, it's not a bad game here. You got the Suns have been scorching here of late, although they did drop the game there last out to Atlanta 2 nights ago, 122 to 124, when they blew that big lead there in the fourth quarter at home. Portland comes in here. They haven't covered a spread so far. I don't know if they've covered one here in the month of November. It's been kind of thin here right now for the Blazers. Grayson Allen is out for Phoenix here for Portland. Drew Holiday is doubtful in this one. Tybal out as well here. So Blazers, though, are favored by 2, maybe even 2.5 here right now.
Major line move.
We're seeing some steam here come in currently on North Carolina in their game against Navy. North Carolina was a 24.5-point favorite, and this one's moving higher in favor of North Carolina, taking the steam here against Navy. This feels like a Bill Belichick matchup with Navy and North Carolina, basketball style. And right now, North Carolina has moved higher here. Currently, the line in this one is going to be North Carolina by 26.5. So about a 2-point move there on Carolina on some widely reported steam. All right, Suns and the Blazers here. So, yeah, Suns have been solid. We know that, and they've gotten it done here. One of the better spread teams in the league here so far this season, 9-5, especially of late. They've covered 8 of their last 10. Portland, though, is 4-1 against the spread at home so far this season. They've done a nice job there as well. Although they are just 1-5 as a favorite, I think they're still the favorite here at 2.5. Yeah, in fact, this one's been all over the place, really. I mean, it went from the send-out was like 4.5, and now we're all the way down to 2. A little bit of a discount there on Portland. Portland is 10-3 to the over this season. They're 4-1 to the over at home, and they're 6-0 to the over as favorites here. So this one's at 236.5. Phoenix has been going under here of late, but man, Portland has been probably more poor defense, if anything. But at 236.5, and this move, I don't know if it's been so solid here, but man, Portland has been going over. Man, they've been pushing this one under, though. Here, give me the under in this one. Phoenix and Portland here tonight. I'm just going with the sharps there in that one. There we go. Let's see. Got some steam coming in here. All right. Some steam coming in on Tennessee Martin and their matchup with Florida State. Tennessee Martin was getting 23 points, and now they're getting here 21. The steam is coming on Tennessee Martin and their matchup against Florida State. Okay, let's see here. Lakers under for Tariq. Did I miss the Laker plays here? Tariq's on the Suns. And Lovable on Phoenix. Roberts on Portland. Jermaine will take Phoenix here with the 2 if Holiday's out. Yeah, it looks like Holiday's definitely out. All right, that's it for the NBA. As uncomfortable as it was, I liked the NBA card until the internet went down. And Justin's here this morning. Thank you, Justin. Let's move to action here tonight. Let's try to find a hot one here. Boy, what a game this is going to be, huh? This has got to be the game of the night. This might be the best game I've ever seen. This one's not crappy. This one's not a terrible game. You've only got the worst team in the country, Ohio Bobcats. They're not really the worst team in the country. They're the 136th best team in the country, or how many other teams there are. Montana's taking some steam here right now in their matchup today. Montana is taking on Texas A&M. They were getting 18.5. They took the steam here, and now Montana has moved lower on some widely reported steam here in this one. Current line is down to 17, 1.5 point move here. Montana just took the steam in this one. All right, now let's talk with the Massachusetts and Ohio here. Ohio is definitely, head and shoulders or feet and toes below here with the worst team in the country, getting 33 points from Ohio U here, a total 51.5. For Massachusetts, not only they were bad this year, they've been bad for a couple of years here now. They've actually failed the 0-12 their last 12 games on the road. Coming in Ohio, they got real good numbers the other way. And of course, you look at the MAC standings here right now. Ohio 4-2, 1 game behind Western Michigan, who also plays here tonight. Ohio has won 12 straight games at home, dating back to last season. They're 15-3 their last 18 conference games. They've also won 13 of their last 17 overall. Meanwhile, for UMass, they're 1-5 against the spread in their last 6 games coming in. They are 4-1 to the over in their last 5, although Ohio is 1-4 to the under in their last 5 games. But for me in this one, I gotta think it goes over. It might end up being, 46-0. But if it's 46-7, it's gonna get there for us. So I'm gonna take the over here. UMass is the team that is 7-3 to the over this season, and 5-2 to the over as an underdog. Somehow they were a favorite in 2 games earlier this season. Is that even a real stat? Ohio U is 3-2 to the over at home. I'm going to take the over in this one with UMass and Ohio. UMass will need a touchdown here to help it go over, but that's about all you need here. Like I said, if it's 46-7, you've scored with Ohio and the over there, and I think that's going to be the final score. Maybe 46-7, maybe 45-7, 47-7, 49-7. I'm going to take the over in this one with UMass and Ohio. All right, here we go with Justin. He's going to take Ohio U's team total over. See, there you go. Bars on UMass here. Roberts on the under in this one. And Lovell says, reading this line, it says under. Yeah, it might. If Massachusetts doesn't score again, they're definitely not going to go over. But they have managed a touchdown in 2 of their last 3 games. They scored 3 touchdowns against Buffalo, but that was at home. There's Robert. Yeah, there you go. Over in that one. And Bar says 44-7, and Bar says it'll go under. Teresa, just lay it with Ohio. Don't even worry about the total in this one. Just to lay the points. Akron and Bowling Green, Mid-American Conference action here. Let's get a steam play in here right now. It is on Idaho State. They're taking the steam right now against Santa Clara tonight on the road. Santa Clara at home taking this steam here. They were Idaho State taking the steam here. They were plus 17, but right now we're seeing this one move to plus 16. Pretty much just plus 16 so far. Just a 1 point move, but we caught that one early. It's still in progress. Steam on Idaho State. All right, Akron taking on Bowling Green. Akron 3-4 in conference, Bowling Green 1-5 in conference. So this one has no ramifications really. Bowling Green comes in actually having lost 4 straight games, while Akron's won 2 of their last 3 coming in. Bowling Green's 0-4 against the spread as a favorite this season. They are 3-2 straight up at home, and Akron's 1-4 straight up on the road. Bowling Green's gone under in all 4 games as a favorite this season. They've also gone under in 4 of their 5 games at home. Like I said, Akron has definitely trended to the over this season at 7-3 to the over in their last 10, but they are 3-4 to the under as an underdog. So I think I'm going to take the under here in this one. That seems to make more sense here. 9 of the last 13 meetings between these two teams have gone under, and Bowling Green's also gone under in 4 of their last 5. So I'm going to take the under in this one with Akron and Bowling Green at 47. And Robert's on the under here as well with me. And finally in the MAC here, we've got Western Michigan taking on Northern Illinois. And we see here why we see that steam move here right now in the matchup. But we saw that steam come in on Montana, and that's because Mac McBucko is out of the game here for Texas A&M, the forward with a foot injury. Mac McBucko is out. All right, more steam coming in right now, and they're steaming IU Indianapolis. I don't know what the infatuation with this team is anymore. They seem to be playing to a style that helps their opponents just be more effective against them. But hey, they won last game, and they're taking the steam here right now. IU Indianapolis was a 1.5 point favorite, but hey, they're going higher. It's IU Indianapolis taking that steam against Charleston Southern. Here comes the steam rolling in. Wow. All right. IU Indianapolis is up to a 2-point favorite, but it's juiced here. So it's IU Indianapolis taking the steam. Also, Ole Miss. Ole Miss is taking the steam here in their matchup today against Austin Peay. Ole Miss was a 21-point favorite, but we're seeing the steam come in here right now on Ole Miss, and they have moved higher here total on this one currently at Ole Miss minus 23.5, 2.5 point move here on that one. That's a little bit stiff as well. Ole Miss just took the steam. And Army versus Cornell. We're seeing some steam to this one to the under with Army and Cornell. We already saw the steam come in on Cornell. It was minus 16. But Cornell took the overnight steam, and they're all the way up to 18.5. And now the steam is coming in here right now on the under in this one. It was 164, and now we're down to 161 here with Army and Cornell steam to the under. All right, and this just in as well. Kansas guard Darren Peterson, the 21-point per game scorer so far after just a few games here for Kansas. He is out tonight with a hamstring injury, and he is going to be out indefinitely here. This just in. Kansas's guard Darren Peterson, one of the good-looking guards here in the country so far, averaging over 20 points per game so far for the Jayhawks. That's probably why we saw that steam to the under there with Kansas and Duke. I wouldn't be surprised to see Duke on the move here right now with that information here with Peterson out for Kansas here tonight and indefinitely.
Critical notice.
And all right, we're going to keep it moving here right now. on the Morning Steam Show with this one between Western Michigan and Northern Illinois. Western Michigan's been doing a pretty good job. All right, I think we're finally back on a lot of these sites here right now. Might be able to put together an okay show here. All right, Western Michigan here taking on Northern Illinois. It's Western Michigan that's been kind of the hotter team here at this point. They've won 2 straight and been in a pretty good groove here for the last few weeks. They in off of a win over Ohio, 17-13. They got the money in that one. They are 4-1 against the spread as a favorite so far this season. Meanwhile, Northern Illinois just 1-5 against the spread as an underdog. That almost seems too easy to want to take a favorite in this one. You do have to lay 6 or 6.5 points here with Western Michigan, but NIU just 1-3 against the spread at home, 3-7 against the spread overall. They have lost all 6 games straight up as an underdog, while Western Michigan's gone 5-0 as a favorite. I think they can get the money here on the road. Western Michigan, like we said, they are currently leading the MAC, so the pressure is on. And Northern Illinois, they're not the same Northern Illinois as we've seen here in the last couple of years at 2-4 in conference play. So I'm going to take Western Michigan here tonight to roll on the road. Maybe they'll get there by double digits. I'm going to take Western Michigan in this one. All right, let's see. We got the plays here with Western Michigan and Northern Illinois. That was the low total there, huh? And here we go. There's Dylon in the chat. Dylon, what a game last night with the Ducks, huh? That was incredible. It was a game, wasn't it? Another overtime. Can you believe it?
Critical notice.
NYC bar is on the over here. And Western Michigan for Robert. Justin's on Northern Illinois here, but Nuke is going to take Western Michigan. I'd say there's no consensus in the chat. Okay, let's keep it moving here right now. That's it. That's it for the return of the MAC this week. Let's move to the National Hockey League next. We've got a nice card here, don't we? We have an 8-game card here in the NHL tonight. And, man, those overtimes keep coming, right? Are we just going to – we don't even need a show. Just bet every game to be a regulation tie, and we'll be up 50 – we'll get, 10 units a week, would you say? Seems like a pretty good deal. Why don't we just do that? All right, let's move to the National Hockey League tonight. We got this nice card here, starting it off with Seattle on the road. The Kraken are taking on the Red Wings here. And, let's see if the goalie website is up. I've only got 3 of them, so all we need is 1 at least to at least try to give us a clue of who's in the nets tonight. And I'm showing Grubauer here in the pipes for the Kraken. Just his 5th start of the season. He's 3-0-1 with a 2.2 goals against and 90.5% save percentage. You know, Seattle's done a nice job for sure in some of these road games right now. You look at them here, just 3-3 straight up, but certainly been profitable here. Detroit, meanwhile, just 2-4 as a favorite so far this season. They are 6-3 at home, and they are a pretty big favorite here, actually, though, against Seattle in this one. Cam Talbot, 7-2 with a 2.71 goals against average here and an 89.5% save percentage for see, I knew it. I've got Gibson in there. I see some other sites here with Talbot, but I think I've got Gibson in there. And we'll see. I mean, Talbot obviously with some, real good numbers here so far for sure. But if you guys have a confirmed goalie, you guys can always correct me in the chat. I don't mind that. But let's see how you guys have it here with Seattle and Detroit here tonight. For Seattle here, they've lost 7 of their last 10 games on the road. Detroit's won 10 of their last 14 at home, these are dating back to last season here right now until I can get the other website going. Seattle's gone under in 8 of their last 12 games here overall. Detroit, meanwhile, 2-4 to the under as a favorite. And
Steam play.
and for me in this one, man, to me, Seattle on the road here feels like the right play, and I'm going to take the Kraken in this one straight up to win in an upset over Detroit here tonight. By the way, the NHL yesterday, I think we swept the board. Let me see what went on there. We had yesterday.
Steam play.
Oh no, NHL was not so. We had the under in the Kings and the Capitals game. We had the over with the Canadians and the Blue Jackets. Yeah, it wasn't as okay. It was mediocre results. Here's some steam for sure. Alcorn State and LSU. Steam to the under in this one with Alcorn State and LSU. Alcorn was already steamed here, crazily enough, against LSU. Alcorn was getting 28, but we've seen this one move to Alcorn of all teams. That was more of an overnight play. Alcorn's currently getting 31.5 for the most part. That's no steam. What are we talking about here? And this steam to the under, though, looks pretty real here. It opened as high as 157.5, and now we're down to 154.5 here at Circa. So steam to the under there with Alcorn and LSU. Also, New Haven and Seton Hall took some steam. This just took steam to the over here with New Haven and Seton Hall. It was 126. But we're seeing this one move considerably higher here right now, up to 129.5. Some books are a little behind still, but it's going over New Haven and Seton Hall. Okay, let's keep it moving here right now, if I can. I'll get your plays here in the chat. I thought we were home. I guess the outages come and go, I guess, huh? That's what I was reading anyway. Okay, Dylon was loving that Ducks win last night. Red Wings money line here, and Larkin for 2 goals. Cash Kane likes it over. Good morning to Kelly in the chat. And look at that, talking about that. Are we just going to take the ties and just not even worry about watching any games? Let's just take the tie every game. VAR is on the under. Timothy's on Detroit. Kelly says both teams to score in the first period. Dylon's on Detroit. Tariq's on the Red Wings and the under. And that's what it was. I did have a good day in basketball, NBA as well. And let's see here. Seattle's bad on the back-to-back. Yep. Oh, yeah, no, I see what you're saying there since, they didn't play yesterday, right? Okay. No, not Kelly can't do it. She can't bet tie. Probably just because right. It's no fun. It's no fun to bet the ties, I think is what you're saying, huh? Okay. Good enough there. I'm taking Seattle on the road, actually. The Devils here are going to take on the Lightning in this one. Devils are going to try to have to get along with the Hughes, who had that major injury on an off-ice incident. But still, New Jersey came in with a win last time. They've won 2 straight here over Washington and Chicago here. Meanwhile, for Tampa Bay, they come in here at 9-7-2. New Jersey's 13-4-1 right now. Tampa Bay is just 6-7 as a favorite. Meanwhile, New Jersey's 5-2 as an underdog. That's not on the puck line. That's straight up. New Jersey operates well as a dog. New Jersey 5-2 to the over as an underdog as well. So they kind of win low scoring games on the road, and that sounds like their premise anyway. So overall, right, their overall philosophy for the Devils here. It is Markstrom expected in goal, not confirmed here yet. 3-2-1, 3.67 goals against. Meanwhile, Vasilevsky 6-5-2 with a 2.77 goals against and an 89% save percentage coming into this one. I gotta go under here with the Devils and the Lightning for sure. Give me the under in this one. Under 6 on the morning steam show. The line there probably is going down here a little bit, and it is juiced to the under. Here we go with Cash Kane says Lightning money line point for a goal. And not without Hughes, says Kane. That's too big of an injury to overcome. All right, Rhode Island and Yale taking, what do we got here? Oh, man, okay. Rhode Island and Yale, steam to the over. This ruins the pick later on, so I better take it now in one of those where it's moved here, and this is my pick. Rhode Island and Yale taking the steam to the over here in this one. It was as low as 155.5, but now it's down. What do we got here? Oh, man, Bovada's trailing the market big time here at 151. I'm showing it as high as 154 right now. I think this line is good up to, like I said, the send out was 157, and I was willing to go over at 157. Kind of was waited. This thing got dummied down big time, and now it's going back up. And now Bovada just added their move to it. This is a strange one, and I thought I was going to be like, this was one of my favorite games because of the total being so low. The send out was obviously right. I've got the under with Rhode Island and Yale. We'll try to break it down maybe a little bit later, but okay. Kelly says. Bars on the over. Kelly says over for 1.5 in the first period. Then the under may work. Okay. And Yale for lovable in that game. We'll have the preview of that game. The Blues are taking on the Maple Leafs here, and you've got Jordan Binnington in goal. They're 6-9-4 coming in. Toronto 8-9-2. Toronto in a bad way here right now, in a losing streak. It's all falling apart here for the Maple Leafs, seemingly overnight. I'm not saying that the losing streak caught up to us, but let's see what is going on here with these Maple Leafs. 5 straight losses here for Toronto here currently. Meanwhile, St. Louis has won 11 of the last 15 meetings between these two teams, and 7 of the last 8 here in Toronto. St. Louis has won. They're owning the Maple Leafs now. They only play twice a year, but Toronto, of course, has gone over in a million straight games at home. So, we're going to go over again. I'm not saying it's blind, but why are you going to step in front of this streak? They did go under their last game, and it was on the road. So it did stop the incredible run of overs here for Toronto. Remember, it was only 3-2 in that game against Chicago. So they finally got an under, but it's still 13 of the last 14 games overall for Toronto to the over. The defense is bad. We finally figured it out, right? It's more about Toronto's poor play defensively here that's been costing them wins and games. It's just that St. Louis is 3-11 their last 14 games overall as well, as they've been yucking it up. Really, they've at least won a couple games here over the last couple of weeks, but they were really in a bad way before that. So, all right. For this one, we're going to look to the total here, and I'm going to take Toronto, of course. I will say St. Louis is 2-5 to the under as an underdog, and they are an underdog still here, despite a little bit of, I think people might be onto it a little bit here with the Blues, but still the Leafs are at $1.20 or so. But I got to go over in that one. All right, let's keep it moving here with your comments. And we've got Robert's on the Blues here. Cash Gains on the Leafs, but Justin's on the Blues. And next up, we got the Blue Jackets on the road taking on the Jets. Got Elvis here for the Blue Jackets. And looks like Hellebuck going here. In that last game, we showed that Wool was in there. He is confirmed as the goalie for the Maple Leafs in that other game. Okay, for this one, however, Elvis is confirmed for the Blue Jackets. He's 4-3 with a 3.14 goals against and a 91% save percentage. For Connor Hellebuck, 8-6 record here, 2.51 goals against, and a 91.5% save percentage for the Jets. Star, man, he's played in almost all of them. I think 14 of 18. Both teams coming in off of a win here. Winnipeg beat Calgary 4-3 last time out. Meanwhile, Columbus beat Montreal 4-3 last night. And these 1-goal games are crazy. Winnipeg is coming in here. There are just 8-8 on the puck line, but Columbus is 11-3 as a puck line underdog and 9-1 to the puck line on the road, where they're usually a dog. But Columbus is 5-9 straight up as an underdog, but they're a considerable dog here, right? At plus $1.70 or so. Winnipeg's gone over in 10 of their 18 games this season. Columbus has trended under a little bit, but they are 6-4 to the over on the road. Still, I think I'm going to prefer the under in this game at if it's 6.5 under 20, which it is not. It's mostly 6 over 20. You know what? DraftKings is 6.5 under 25, so I'll look to go under here in this one with Columbus and Winnipeg. Give me the under. All right. And let's see here. Kelly says Toronto bet against them early in the week. Tavares for a point and a parlay. I think you got that right. St. Louis is sneaky. Both teams to score in the first. And NYC Bars on the Jets on the puck line. Lay it and lay the 1.5 here. Lovable's on the under. Next up, the Islanders are on the road here, taking on the Dallas Stars in a good matchup here. Islanders are pretty hot coming in. They're 10-7-2 overall. Dallas, one of the hottest teams here in the league, on a pretty strong winning streak here right now, and they are at home after all. Dallas comes in here right now having won 5 straight. They've won 5 of their last 6 at home. The Islanders finally lost there. They had their winning streak snapped, losing at Colorado a couple of nights ago, but still the Islanders are 4-1 in their last 5 overall. They're just 2-5 against the Stars in their last 7 games, but you know, they played well on the road. In fact, they're one of those teams where not bad. I mean, 7-5 as an underdog. It's just that Dallas has been pretty good too. But Dallas is just 2-12 as a puck line favorite, and the Islanders are 8-4 as a puck line underdog.
Team play.
A little bit of basketball steam here real quick, if I may. College basketball, it's Seton Hall. We already said that steam came in on the over in that game, moving from 126 to 129.5 in the game between New Haven and Seton Hall. But now Seton Hall's getting steamed here kind of big time. They were a 23-point favorite, but right now Seton Hall is definitely moving higher on some widely reported steam. They're as high as 24.5 here right now. So at least a 1.5 move here on Seton Hall. All right, we're talking hockey here with the Islanders and the Stars here on Tuesday night. Islanders have gone under in 4 of their last 5. They've also gone under in 5 of their last 6 on the road. 4 of the last 5 meetings between these two teams have gone under here. Still, Sorokin and Ottinger. I mean, it's obviously a pretty good matchup of goalies. We got Sorokin here coming in with a record of 6-5-2, 2.59 goals against. He hasn't necessarily been the Islanders' better goalie, but he's their man in a 90% save percentage. Ottinger 7-3 with a 2.89 goals against and an 89.5% save percentage. But I got to go under in this one with the Islanders and the Stars. I mean, it is a Stars game after all. They are 5 overs and 5 unders so far, but I'll try the under in this one with the Islanders and the Stars. And I think Tex is on the under as well. NYC Bar is on Dallas, and Dylon says, give me Tavares for a point. Well, Calgary's at Chicago, and look at this one. Man, is this the old somebody knows something game? I thought the Chicago Blackhawks are one of the hotter teams in the league right here, right now. They've been playing strong. Obviously, they well overachieving here at this point. They're off of a 3-2 win at home against Toronto. They are 4-2 so far at home this season. Meanwhile, Calgary's 2-8 on the road so far this season, and 3-15 as an under, 3-14 as an underdog. Practically every game, right? Because they've been underdogs in all but 3 games this season. Calgary's been one of the worst teams in the league. Let's face it. And the Blackhawks are only $1.15 here. What gives? In fact, I'm showing some pick'ems out there, and Bovada actually has the Flames the favorite. Okay, so maybe the Flames have been underachieving this season. Maybe that's it. Maybe they're ready to turn around here right now. They did beat the Sharks a few days ago, but then came back and lost to Winnipeg. Still, it was 4-3. I think they've actually played pretty well the last 3 games. Have the Flames, but they only have 1 win to show for it. They've struggled for sure. But we'll see with Wolf and Knight. Feels like a big advantage there for Spencer Knight as well. Knight comes in 7-3-3 with a 2.42 goals against. He's been everything that we've expected him to finally be. 92.5% save percentage for Dustin Wolf, another young goalie, but he's 5-10-2 with a 3.01 goals against and 89% save percentage here. So what do you think of this one? Man, it seems what are we missing here? Chicago's 6-12 to the under this season, 2-6 to the under at home, although Calgary's 12-8 to the over and 7-4 to the over on the road. I think the recipe here for this one, now let's see. I'm going to go to you guys. Let me see what you guys got in this one. I might have to go to the total here because it seems pretty peculiar. 5 of the last 6 meetings between these two teams here in Chicago have gone over, but 4 of the last 6 games have gone under between the two teams. Chicago's gone under in 6 of their last 8 at home, and Calgary's gone under in 4 of their last 5 games overall. Dylon's on the Blackhawks here. Maybe Tex might be on the under. And Dylon says you got to go maybe with Chicago here. It's a bar with the Blackhawks on the puck line. All right. Look, if Chicago's going to win I think if Chicago wins, it goes under. I think Chicago probably can win, but let me just go under here in this one with Calgary and Chicago. It is 5.5 for sure, juice to the under, right? There's some 6 unders out there as well. So I'll take the under in this one. You know I'll be playing 6 under 20. But you can grade me at 5.5 over. All right. The Rangers here are taking on the Golden Knights here in Vegas on Tuesday night. The Golden Knights come in here 8-4-6. Talk about those teams that, go to overtime, right? This might be one of those candidates. Here come the Rangers, the best road team in the league. They're 10-6-2, 9-1 on the road so far this season. Vegas is just 6-8 as a favorite. As a favorite so far this season, 4-3 straight up at home. Vegas is just 3-11 as a puck line favorite. Meanwhile, the Rangers are 6-2 as a puck line underdog here. Rangers have gone under in 13 of their 20 games so far this season. Vegas has trended over a little bit here, going over in 7 of their last 10 games. Islanders have won 6 straight on the road right now. They've beaten Vegas in 4 of the last 6 meetings. Vegas just 1-4 straight up at home in their last 5, 1-5 straight up in their last 6 overall. Vegas has, like I said, been over in 7 of their last 10. Long term, they're kind of an under team at home, but let me hear what you have in this one between the Rangers and Vegas. Looks like Igor in net there up against Schmidt. I got to go under. I'm going under in this one. Schmidt comes in here 7-1-2 with a 2.5 goals against and a 90% save percentage for Igor here. 6-7, 6-2 with a 2.38 goals against and a 91% save percentage. The Rangers are that strong road team, and yeah, it feels like to me they kind of do it with that solid defense on the road here and what we've seen so far in some of these totals with them. I'm going to go under with the Rangers and the Golden Knights. Give me the under. Lovable is going over. Tex was leading to Chicago in that other game. Lovable also likes the Rangers here on the road against Vegas on Tuesday night. And then finally, the Utah Mammoth are on the road here, taking on San Jose. Utah down to $1.40 or so here, just moved a few moments ago. And the total is 6.5 flat. We're seeing. I think you got to move to 6 over. 6 over. I think most of the books are at 6 over here right now. I think they've moved off the of course, DK is still going to be hanging the 6.5 as their main line, but I'm going to go with the 6 over 20. Let's take a look. Both teams come in having lost 2 in a row here. Utah lost to Anaheim yesterday, right, in that 3-2 game that the Ducks won. In overtime, 3-2 there, and also Utah comes in here 10-7-2 overall. San Jose 8-8-3. San Jose 13-6 is a puck line underdog this season. Utah just 3-9 is a puck line favorite. Utah 4-8 to the under as a favorite here this season. I mean, that's the way this one's probably going to go, isn't it? Let's see what you guys have in this one. You've got in the nets here for Utah, Vanacek, and he comes in here with a 2-3 record, 2.84 goals against, 87.5% save percentage. Meanwhile, for Askarov, 5-5-1, 3.09 goals against, and a 90.5% save percentage. The teams met already. I think they met twice this season already. Utah has gotten the better of them in this series, but man, San Jose at home, they're playing so much better here this season. They were on a winning streak before losing those last 2. And, they're just pretty much a 500 team. Utah on the road, they played much better at home, it feels like. Let's see what you'll have here in this one. Final game on the hockey card here. We're moving along. Okay. Nothing from the chat. Okay, I'm just going to go over. I'm actually going over in this one. It feels like mostly 6 now. And I think that's a sign. I'm going to go over with that number now. Give me the over with the Mammoth and the Sharks. All right, hopefully you guys aren't down. I've only got 3 dozen viewers in here today. Usually by now we're up to, 72, 80 at this point. So I thought the problems were over, but again, I couldn't make it onto Twitter here. I'm going to try one more time before we go to the next segment anyway. No, it's still not working. Maybe it would work if I restarted the stream, but we're not doing that. So at least it'll be up there for people to watch. Just want to take a peek at trying to fix that here today with the problems. Okay, I'll take over with Utah and San Jose. All right. Hey, Abel's here. Nice to have Abel in the chat. He's got the West Up parlay today. Great to have Abel. He's got the Lakers and Utah under, and he's got the Rangers and BGK under. Thank you to Abel. All right. Steam coming in right now on the Drexel Dragons in their game today against NJIT Highlanders. The Drexel Dragons are favored here. They were laying 9.5, but we're seeing a steam come in here on Drexel. Right now, Drexel's favored in this one by 12.5 here, even juiced heavily here at Bet Online. Drexel here taking the steam against NJIT. And Tex likes the Sharks. VAR likes the Mammoth. All right, let's move on here. We've got plenty of college basketball to look at here today. And we'll get going in this. We got a nice card here, and I've selected extra games here. And we're going to start it off with Michigan State at Kentucky. This one starts at 6:30 Eastern, 3:30 Pacific here with Michigan State getting the points from Kentucky. This one's being played in Madison Square Garden. Right now, the line actually has moved as low as 3.5 here right now. A lot of action here on Michigan State. The steam came in on Michigan State. Well, I'm going to take Michigan State plus 3.5. Hey, morning steam, Michigan State, kind of same thing there. I'm going to take them here plus. You could get 4 here for the most part in this matchup, but I'll take it here at 3.5. That's where the action seems to lie here. Feels like the move is on Michigan State here. I was liking them. We're not getting the best price. That's okay. I'll still take them here in this one against Kentucky. See if we call up some numbers here, at least with these two. Early on here this season, we're just a few games in, of course. But feels like it's going to be a great season. Michigan State coming in here 3-0. They're ranked 17th in the country. 12th ranked UK is 3-1 coming in. Michigan State just 1-2 ATS. UK 2-2 ATS right now. But they are 3-1 to the over are the Wildcats. The Spartans, meanwhile, are 1-2 to the under here. I'm going to take Michigan State plus 3.5. Let's put the 3.5 up there. The total is 153.5. I'll call it 4. There we go. Kentucky by 4, and I'm going to take Michigan State here plus the 4 in this one. All right, Vermont taking on Buffalo here. Vermont, a 3, call it 2.5 here. 2.5, total 140.5 here in this one. One's moved a little bit higher here. And just a pretty good matchup, I thought, worth taking a look at. You have Vermont here, 4-0 coming in. You have Buffalo coming in here. They're also 4-0 so far this season. So got 2 undefeated teams here. That's kind of one to look at for sure. Now, Buffalo has played 1 non-Division 1 game so far in those 4 games, so let's just be clear here. But still, Buffalo comes in with wins over Southern Miss, Green Bay, and DePaul. Although they played, I think they played Rensselaer last time to improve to 4-0. Meanwhile, for Vermont, they played just two Division I teams so far. They beat Brown in double overtime and they beat Northeastern, but they've also beat Plattsburgh and Western New England to go to 4-0. So it's not all it's cracked up to be. Still, Buffalo's 3-0 ATS. Vermont 0-1 against the spread as a favorite so far. That was in the game against Brown that they did win but did not cover. They did cover against Northeastern. Buffalo, meanwhile, with the three covers here against Southern Miss, Green Bay, and DePaul. And Vermont favored here by 2.5. Like I said, maybe it's 3, maybe it's 2.5, maybe it's 3. And for me, I think I'm going to take the under here in this one. This one's feeling some pressure for sure. Give me the under here. I feel really good about that. Steam came in on the under. I'm going to take the under. It's all the way down here to 140.5, and I'll take it here with Vermont and Buffalo. Give me the under here in this one. Oh, I see some comments from you guys in college basketball. Sorry about that. Barr went on Michigan State. Lovable's on Michigan State. But Cash Kane went on the Kentucky Wildcats. Barr was on the over, and so was Robert. Nine Legacy says Kentucky wins. MSU sucks. I was going to say, I thought it was just to say covers. I would say, one of those, but Michigan State might pull it out, says Lovable. Take the point. Sorry I missed that one, you guys. Over here, Robert Dixon likes Vermont here in this one on the road in the battle of 4-0 teams. And you know what? I think I agree. I agree with Robert Dixon here. I'm going to take Vermont as well. Give me a. We haven't done. Remember last year we hit those double plays. We need a double play kind of graphic maybe. But I'm going to take Vermont laying 2.5. I'm taking Vermont and the under here. How about that? I agree with Robert. I always do, but just saying this time I do. Let's do it. Uh-oh. Are we down over on my Cloudflare over here again? Huh. You guys are great. I'll be glad when this show's over. All right, East Carolina taking on Wilmington here in this one. You got Wilmington the favorite in this game. You got favored by 6, and the total 144.5 here in this one. All right, for East Carolina here, they've looked pretty good so far. 2-1 straight up. Wilmington's 2-1 straight up as well. Although both teams are 0-2 against the spread so far. ECU failed to cover against Georgia State, and they lost to Richmond. Wilmington, meanwhile, lost to Kent, and they beat Upstate but didn't cover 14.5. So both teams coming in here a little bit 0-2 ATS, if you will. ECU's gone over in both their games so far this season, but Wilmington did go under in their one home game so far. And I think for me here in this one, I'd probably look to go with Wilmington here. I'm going to take them and lay the points. Give me NC Wilmington -6 in this one. They won both their games at home so far this season. The one against Upstate was their one Division I game. They also had a non-Division I home win, did Wilmington, and it was against Mount Olive. Remember, we talked about them playing Mount Olive. And meanwhile, for East Carolina, they just beat Elizabeth City State last week, just 71-70 at home. So I don't know, this East Carolina team so far won but didn't cover against Georgia Southern. Is that right? And then lost to Richmond, and then barely beat Elizabeth City State. Yeah, boy. I'm going to go with Wilmington for sure in this one. Robert likes the over in this one, and Var is with me taking Wilmington. Here's Jacksonville and Gorge Mason. Gorge. He was hungry, that George Mason. There we go. George Mason here, favored by 14.5. The total 135 here in this one with George Mason. All right. Let's take a look at this one, however, with Mason here. Pretty big favorite, but Jacksonville does come in. This is a good matchup here, it felt like, to look at anyway, even if it is a bit of a one-sided game for Mason here. But Jacksonville's off to some pretty good numbers here so far. For Mason, they are 4-0. They're coming in off of a win over New Hampshire. They also beat Wofford. They beat Winthrop. They beat Catawba. To go to 4-0 here so far for the Patriots. Meanwhile, Jacksonville is 2-2 coming in, or 2-1 coming in. But I believe one of their games was against a non-D1. That was against Trinity of Florida. They've lost to Miami and they lost to High Point. They did defeat BMI, so officially 2-2, 2-1 against the spread. Mason's 1-2 against the spread so far this season. All right, if you'll just pardon me a moment while I pause and see if the website will refresh. I was going to try to recite a few notes from this game, but I'm not sure I'm going to be able to get to it. Might just have to make the pick off the sheet here, if that's okay. You guys can chime in here as well between these two. Let me talk a little bit about what Jacksonville has been up to here. The last one was a 69-67 game for the Dolphins against BMI. They got the money in that one. They also got the money in a loss against Miami here. So, all right. I'm not sure we're going to be able to get the trend information that I wanted to give. So let me just make the call here in the game between Jacksonville and George Mason here. Boy, this has really ruined my day in this one. Okay, give me the under here in this one with Jacksonville and George Mason. We did say, did we note that the steam came in on George Mason here? Let me see if that spread went up, because the total has definitely gone down here. I might have a little bit of a stale line on the screen. Okay, Mason is up to -16 here against Jacksonville, but that total is still around 135 or even higher, so I like that. I'm going to take the under for sure in this one. What am I fooling around for? Both teams are 1-2 the under so far this season. There we go. Now the spread numbers come up for me. Yeah, 1-2 the under so far this season, both teams. So I'm going to take the under in this one, 135. All right, let's see here. Lovable might be on George Mason or making fun of George Mason. Robert's on the over here, but maybe it is minus. Whew. 14 or 16 here, huh? George Southern taking on George Mason. No. Every team's going to be George from now on, or Gorge. Oh, I make myself laugh. Probably shouldn't. All right. Yeah, Tech here, 10.5 point favorite. They actually took the steam here, but it didn't go up too high. Actually, they're. Yeah, you know what? This one was as open as high as 12.5. And they did say Georgia Tech took the steam there at 12.5. It went up all the way to, 12.5. But now it's down here to 10.5 in this one. That looks like a bit of a deal here right now for Georgia Tech. They are 3-1 coming in. They are coming in off of a loss here last time out to Georgia, 92-87, but they got the money. Meanwhile, Georgia Southern here coming off back-to-back wins over Cashville and Florida Gulf Coast Credit Union. They're 2-1 ATS, 2-1 against the spread, 2-0 against the spread on the road. Meanwhile, Georgia Tech is 1-2 against the spread at home, but I don't know. I think I'm going to probably have to lay this. Probably going to have to lay some points here with Georgia Tech. Maybe Georgia Southern may have a pretty good team here, actually. All right. Let's see what you guys have in this one. Georgia Southern's 3-0 to the over, but Georgia Tech is 1-3 to the under, including 0-3 to the under at home. Man, all right. You got me. Anything in the chat? I picked the game. All right. Let's see. Bars going over in this one. Lovable. And there's Arthur Mead. Oh, man, Arthur, thank you so much. Man, Arthur coming in with another dono. He says, Mike and I are doing some great work. And isn't that amazing that, oh, no, look, if there's time, could I do Georgia Southern and Georgia Tech? And we just put that game up there before Arthur said it. Isn't that amazing? Now we got to make a pick on this one. Robert's on the under here. At least we're getting some under because at least we're getting some under love here. No, Bar was on the over. Robert's on the under. Maybe sounds like under. Feels like under to me. I'm going under. I'm going under in this one. Give me the under in the Georgia Southern Georgia Tech game. 163. All right. Some steam came in just now on Providence. Providence is taking the steam here. They're a pretty big favorite against New Hampshire. Listen to this one. If I'm not mistaken, let me see. Providence opened as low as Providence opened as low as 26.5. But now we're seeing this one go to 30.5. So about a 4-point move here on Providence. Man, the steam came in at 28. We're already up to 30.5 here. Providence over New Hampshire. Providence taking that steam. All right, Arthur. And Arthur, I was saying I might have to lay it with Georgia Tech. That is not a play yet at this point. I'm not even sure I am going to lay it with Georgia Tech. It just jumped out at me as a discount. Georgia Tech got steamed here, but it definitely is a lower number than some of the high point numbers that we've seen. The higher numbers at 12.5. So that game needs reassessment. In fact, I kind of wanted to look at the injuries to see if there was something there to it, because that definitely moved off here a little bit. But I don't see major injuries there. So, okay, Arthur will take the under as well. That's good. And thank you so much again, Arthur, for supporting the Sports Money Network. All right, next up, I don't know if Nate's here, but we got to look at Rhode Island. We got to look at Rhode Island and Yale, don't we? Good game here. Rhode Island on the road, favored. You got Yale here, minus 8.5 total, 154. Yale comes in here looking pretty good right now. Yale 3-0, Rhode Island 3-1. They're both doing well. Rhode Island 3-1 ATS, Yale 2-1 ATS. Although they are 0-1 ATS at home. They failed to cover against Stonehill in a 7-point win last time out. Meanwhile, Rhode Island didn't cover against Albany, 80-61. Yeah, they did. I think URI is 4-0 ATS, aren't they? All right, we'll have to dig a little deeper here, I think, on our Rams. They definitely beat Albany 80-61 last time out. They beat Stonehill by 23. Did lose to Tulsa. 65-62, but they rocked Stetson by 31 points. So Rhode Island's had a pretty good time of it here, it feels like so far. And Yale's definitely looking pretty strong here as well with their undefeated record. They have wins here currently over Navy. They covered that one. Quinnipiac. They covered that one as well. Then the Stonehill game that they failed to cover. Okay, I got it. Let's go to the chat here on this one between Rhode Island and Yale here. I already said I'm on the over, right? Because the steam came in on the over, and I was already committed to the over. So Yale, and that's the play. That segment's over. It is up to 153.5, 153.5 or so. So I'm already on the over. I told you when it moved in, I had to take the over. So okay, here we go. Yale for Barr, and Roberts on the under. Lovable went to Rhode Island, but had a Long Island. Second game at the Champions Classic in Madison Square Garden with Kansas taking on Duke. Blue Bloods here at MSG tonight. And you've got Duke here, a double-digit favorite against Kansas. Duke's 4-0. They're looking like the best team in the country here right now for sure. Nothing you can argue about that. KU does actually have a loss so far to Carolina, 84-73. Duke comes in here 4-0 ATS as well. And Kansas, they were an underdog in that game that they failed to cover the spread. Both teams are 1-3 to the under so far this season, and this one's kind of taken a dive, I think, here. Let me see what the total is here currently. I don't think it's 150.5, is it? It's down to 148. And the line here, though, still is 11.5. But the total is definitely 148 or 148.5. Definitely
Final.
Coming down here a little bit. All right, we get your moves here. This one, Champions Classic at MSG. Teams met last year. Kansas won 75-72 as a 4.5-point dog, but they won it outright. Played again here. They played in the Champions Classic back in 22. Kansas won 69-64. It was pretty much a pick-em on that particular night. All right, well, for me in this one, man, I think Duke might rock them, man. Duke has been looking so good here so far. Boozer's been awesome. You got to figure he's good for you guys might even do a prop with the good Boozer. They're both good. Both kids are good so far. With Cameron Boozer, though, 22 points per game, 10 rebounds per game, 4 assists. Man, this guy might be the player of the year the way this is going. All right, I'll go ahead and lay it here with Duke. I'm going to lay 11.5 points. So is Lovable. I think Barr is going with the under. And let's see. Kelly thought I said under. Is that right? Yep, we did, right? Oh, that other game? Rhode Island and Yale. No, I'm on the over, Kelly, to make sure. Over in Rhode Island. Greg's got this one. I think that's a Duke cover there, actually. Robert likes the under here. Justin likes Kansas. And Lovell says Duke has just been, what can you say? They've been crushing. Yeah, man, having a Rhode Island, Kelly, as your first drink, man, that's harsh, right? I mean, I don't even know if I could have one right now. Duke team total over, maybe. The under is in the playoffs in this game. Tariq says Duke in the under. Under is the playoffs. Okay. Duke in the under there. I'll take the under as well. I picked a lot of games here. I wish didn't know about the Cloud Flash or the Cloud Flare here. I think we got enough to keep working, though. Wichita State going up against Boise State here in this one. And with Boise favored here by 10. Total here, I believe, has dropped. We reported on that widely reported steam, right? here with Wichita State and Boise. A good game here. Wichita State 3-0. Boise is 3-1. Total here is now 149.5. It's dropped here for sure. And maybe it's 9.5 now for Boise State. All right, and this one, like I said, pretty good matchup here. Wichita comes in here 3-0 currently, 3-0 against the spread as well. Covers against Cashville, Prairie View, Loyola of Illinois. They covered them all. They were all at home, however. This is their first true road game, Division I style. Boise State 2-1 ATS, 3-0 straight up as the favorite, 3-1 straight up at home. Boise's 1-2 to the under. Wichita's 2-1 to the over so far this season. Yeah, for me in this one, I kind of want to look to the side here a little bit, and let's see what you guys have though first.
Steam play.
A little bit of steam coming in here right now with American and Rutgers. Top of the extra board, steam to the under here with American and Rutgers. It was 146.5, but we're seeing this one move lower here right now with American and Rutgers. And this total is now at 143.5. About a 3.5 point move here to the under with American and Rutgers. All right, here comes your comments. This will help me out, I think, a little bit. And let's see here. Wichita here for VAR. And Lovable, right? We put a few extra games, right? Lovable on the college games here. And Greg says the Boozer's going to rock it here. And Tariq is on Wichita. Robert's on the under. Greg says Boise here. I think that's underdog and over there a little bit. Kelly just going to tease Boise. And Greg feels confident in that 81-70 there, I think, is what he feels confident in that 81-70 game, 81-70 prediction, if you will. In this one between Wichita and Boise State. 9 Eastern, 6 Pacific here tonight with these two. And Boise at home here. Yeah, I think I'll probably just end up on Wichita and take these big points. Give me the Shockers on the road. Mm-hmm. That was one of those wing it plays a little bit. All right, Stephen F. Austin going up here against Fresno. Okay, how about this one with Stephen F. Austin, a favorite on the road against Fresno. We've seen Fresno so far. It's been almost a disaster, actually, considering what they've done. They lost to Fresno Pacific. Everyone's still talking about that one. They've had a rough start to the season to have the Bulldogs. They are 3-2, but Stephen F. Austin comes in here 4-0. 3-0 against Division I competition and 3-0 in the covers. They beat Arkansas State and covered. They beat Rice and covered. They beat Abilene Christian and they covered that one as well. So, man, Stephen F. Austin covering them all here right now. Now, they did play one non-Division I team here to start the season. So, they played Millsaps. Everybody Millsaps. Meanwhile, for Fresno, they lost to Fresno Pacific. Everybody's talking about that one out of the gate. And they lost to Upstate. They did hammer Long Beach at home by 20 points, but then they lost to UCSD at home, and then they beat Utah Valley by just 1 point at home. So they haven't looked too good so far. The tricky one is, though, that they did get a decent, like I said, a decent home win there against Long Beach, and they covered the spread. They actually ended up covering. They were an underdog to Utah Valley, because I think everybody's kind of already on to saying that Fresno maybe wasn't a good team. So they ended up as an underdog in that game. All right. And for me in this one, man, Stephen F. Austin's looking pretty good, and they're getting these numbers here. Let me go to the chat with you guys and see if you guys believe in Stephen F. Austin here. I've heard Mikey talk about these guys a little bit already as well. And I'm skeptical. It feels like Fresno should still win this game. I know it might be easy to take Stephen F. Austin the way they've looked, but okay, here we go. Wichita's good at home. Oh, Robert's on the under. NYC Bar is on the under here. Greg says take SFA by 3. Tariq likes the under, but there's a pick on the over there with Justin. I'm going to take Fresno plus a couple of points at home. I can't help myself. Still going to take Fresno. All right, some steam just came in on that Presbyterian and Cal game. It was 146.5. The steam came in. We already said the steam came in on Cal. Now it's come in here on the under in the game between Presby and Cal. This one here currently is 145. 145, not a big move here, just a 1-point move, but Steam did come in on Presby and Cal. All right, I got a couple more I'm working on here with Cal Riverside taking on Cal Baptist here, and you got Cal Baptist, a pretty big favorite actually, 12-point favorite. They were 10, and the Steam came rolling in. Cal Baptist was a 10-point favorite, now up to 12 here, even up to 13. And the total 141.5. I think they're going to blow them out, but got to pay a little bit of a tax here right now with Cal Baptist. They've looked pretty strong so far this season, and also Riverside hasn't looked that great. For CBU here in this one, they come in here with a 3-0. Let's see here. Do I have the matchup right? Yeah. For Cal Baptist here, they come in 3-0 right now. Riverside coming in here with a record of 2-2. Cal Baptist is just 1-2 ATS, however. They didn't cover laying 15.5 to Western Illinois, and they didn't cover 14 against Upstate. They were an 8.5-point dog to Riverside. They beat to Irvine. And they beat them outright. So they've had an up and down season so far. For Riverside here, 2-1 ATS, 2-0 ATS on the road. Trying to make it through the end of the show here. Thanks to Cloudflare. All right, I think I'm just going to take Cal Baptist and keep rolling. I like them to win this one for sure by by more than 13. Oh man, they opened 11, now up to 13, just laying more and more, and they didn't cover. I might have to switch it. I might have to switch it up because of that. It just feels like. Let me see here. They failed to cover the double digits against Western Illinois, failed to cover the double digits against Upstate. I have to look over here on my phone because I can't get my favorite trends website to work over here, you guys. That's why I've had so many hesitations right now because of the technical glitches. I thought it was over. But for some reason, my favorite site that I like to look at those trends read off to you isn't clicking here right now, so I'm just going to pivot here, and I'm going to go with the over in this one with Riverside and Baptist. That's my preferred play here. Riverside went over in the game against North Dakota in a loss, and they're an underdog here. They also lost by 14 to New Mexico, and they were getting big points like this, so give me the over here with Riverside and Baptist. That's what I'm going to have to do. All right, sorry for the wishy-washy plays here today, and they always fix these issues. We're not going to all the airplanes aren't going to crash. Here's Robert on the over here. The bars on the over as well. And Lovable is on Riverside. Let's go with another steam play here coming in with Chicago State and Minnesota. We already said the steam came in on Minnesota, driving it from 24.5 to 26.5, and now the steam is coming in big time on the under. It opened as high as 149 with Chicago State and Minnesota, but right now we're seeing that steam come in here on the under in this one, and it's down to 145 here with Chicago State and Minnesota. At least a 2-point move off the steam, 4-point move off the opener. Also, Lehigh taking the steam here right now. They open 9.5 or so, and they're taking the steam against St. Francis. The steam came in here, and now Lehigh has moved to minus 10.5 here. It's still going, it looks like. Maybe it'll go to 11. Lehigh taking the steam against St. Francis. Greg says take Riverside. I'm going to try to do one more game with UC Davis and Nevada here. Both teams coming in 3-1 right now. Nevada double-digit favorite, but they are coming in off of a loss last time out. Nevada failed to Santa Clara. 98-83 is a 6.5-point dog. Both teams are poor against the spread, despite the good 3-1 records here. You do have UC Davis is just 1-2 against the spread so far, 0-1 against the spread on the road. Meanwhile, Nevada's 1-3 against the spread, 1-2 against the spread at home. Nevada's gone 3-1 to the over so far, although UC Davis is 1-2 to the under here in this one. And for me here, I'm going to go ahead and take the over here with UC Davis and Nevada. Give me the over in this one. The steam came in on the over. You see it there at 142, but let me check on it because I think it might be a little bit higher. This is one I wanted to hit earlier, and we had to. And right now the total in this game is 144.5. I'll still go over here with UC Davis and Nevada. Give me the over. The show's over, thank goodness, here right now. Also, by the way, the drawing is canceled. That site wasn't working for me either there. So I could just fire it up, but again, probably just have just a couple people in there that comment late in the show. So Nevada there for Lovable. Hope that's okay, everybody. Really apologize for no drawing today. I know some of you hang out for that, but just can't get it to work, can't get it to appear on screen. So nothing I can do about that. Okay, that's it for the show. Thank you, Love. Good job, Team Steam today. And I'll be back tomorrow. I'm going to try it again. I think everything will be working. Everything's kind of working right now. So, all right. Thanks a lot, everybody. Don't forget, check me out over at winnable.com/Ramones. Use a promo code STEAM to save 20%. Mikey Money, tell us about it.
Hey, it's Mikey Money here, letting you know the Sports Money team is live on Winnable. Come check out our best bets.
For a low monthly cost, you get the very best bets delivered instantly to your phone by text the moment they're locked in. No delays, no missed lines, just the smartest plays at the best odds.
We do the work, you get the plays, and they're sent right to your phone right when we drop them.
Don't wait, don't guess, don't miss the line. Join the winning team today and start cashing tickets with Winnable.
Okay, are we back? Are we back? I figure maybe it was doesn't today the debut, is it today that the new channel, the NBC Sports Network, does it come back today? Is it today or was it yesterday? Do we have it back? Did anybody see it? Has anybody tuned into the NBC Sports Network yet since it's come back on the air here? Didn't they bring it back here this week? Maybe that crashed the internet. All right, where am I? I'm not even on the screen here. All right, hopefully I got a Still can stay on Mike's channel here after totally screwing up today's show, but I'll be back tomorrow with more Morning Steam. Make sure you join Mikey Money at 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 Pacific for pre-gaming. Mikey gets you ready for the primetime action here on Tuesday night. He'll have lots of plays here. Everything will probably work for him just fine. So I want to thank everybody in the chat for pulling me through tonight. You guys did a great job. Big help today with that. So I'm just going to get out of here. And for the Sports Money Network, I'm Ramon Scott. So long. Good night.
Then we make the 100-yard dash to the window. I don't know what you thought. It's Ramon Scott running so hot. Sports make money and we make money with sports money every single day. NFL, NHL, NCAA. Stay away from the juice, we might play a parlay. It's the Morning Steam. What? Ramon Scott. Sports money. What? Wake your ass up and let's get to the money. Get to the money.